Hi everyone, welcome back to day 5 of our 30 days of JavaScript challenge. So, in this video, we will be covering array transformations. And before moving on to array transformations, we will see that how can we declare arrays in JavaScript. So, there are two ways to declare array in JavaScript. One is array literal notification and the other one is array constructor. So the array literal notation is basically we will if we have an array, let's say this, with this we will be directly assigning the value to the array. This is the literal notation. Literal basically means constant. So directly we will be assigning the constant value to the array. The other one is array constructor. So what it means here is that we will be using the array constructor to create an empty array, okay, and we will be assigning values to it, or maybe we can assign the array to it, or it can be simply an empty array. So how we are using the empty constructor or the array constructor to declare an array, like basically we can say that if we have, let's say, const array, so we use new array. This is how we basically declare array using constructor. Now this is an empty array, okay. So when we want to declare an array with some size, okay, so how we have to do, we have to write const arr is equals to new array. Let's say the size of our array is 5, okay. So when we write here 5, this means the array's arr is declared and it has a size of 5, or the length of the array is 5, okay. Now we have one more way to declare an array, okay. Now what we can do, we can also initialize the variable, okay. Like initialize array with the array, means the array values. Like what can we do here, const arr is equals to new array 1 comma 2 comma 3, okay. So here what we are doing, we are declaring an array arr and it has three values 1, 2 and 3. So these are the two ways of declaring an array in JavaScript. So let's move on to the day 5 question, which is apply transform over each element in an array. So let's see the problem description. In this question, what we have been told, that we have been given an array arr and we have a mapping function fn, okay. Now what we have to do here, we need to return a new array with transformation applied to each element, okay. So this fn function which we have been given, it is a mapping function, and inside this function some transformation is taking place, okay. Like for example, in this question we have array 1 2 3, array 1 2 3, okay. Now this fn function that we have here, in this the transformation taking place is +1, okay. What it means here, that to all the elements, each and every element, 1 is getting added. Now whatever the changes here are made for is for only single element, which means that if we pass this whole array in this function, okay, then it won't work, because it will only take one integer, right? Because we are passing here n and we are getting just n plus 1. So what we have to take care while passing in this function, that only one integer is passed, and here in this parameter it is also mentioned that we need to pass the index I also. Here they have told that the returned array should be created such that the returned array at that index should be fn of arr of I and I. Here arr of I means we are passing single element, right? Here we are passing single element. Therefore, in order to access each and every element, what we will be doing, we will be having any type of loop, either for loop or any like while loop. Okay, we cannot use here array dot map, so we have to go with for loop or while loop. Here I will be going with for loop. So what I will be doing, if n is the length of the array, then if I am iterating from 0 to I is less than n, then I need to pass each and every value of this array, so that whatever changes are made should be reflected in each and every element. Okay, so if I am passing 1 here, okay, now 1 is passed, the value here will be incremented by 1, because here the value is returned as n plus 1. Okay, so we will be getting the new value as 2, and we have been told that we need to store this value in a new array. The value that should be returned should be a new array. Okay, so for that we will be declaring a new array. So what we will do here, if I am taking this new array as result is equals to, now we have to declare new array, right? I have declared this as an empty array. We can also declare it with the length n, okay, so that it only occupies the length of this array that is provided to us initially. Okay, now we have started the loop here, right? Now what we need to do, we have the new array, we have the length of the array, and we are iterating on the provided array. Now we need to perform the transformation, and each transformation, whatever is done, should be reflected on the new array. In order to do that, what we will be doing, we have to pass the initial array to the function as it is, which is provided here. Okay, and this result, it should get the value in it. Now what we are basically doing here is, if we have this result value and we have here function, okay, now we are on the 0th index, I is equals to 0. Now we are passing 0 here, which at ARR of 0, what do we have? We have 1. So in the function we are passing 1 comma 0, and for that 0 we need to return n plus 1. So n, what we are passing here, n value is 1, right? N value is 1. So what it will return? 1 plus 1, that is 2. So in the res of I, that is res of 0, we are storing 2. In the same way, when the I value is getting incremented to 1, at the, if we have this array, right, 1 2 3, we moved from this index to this index. Now we have 2 here. So in this function, what we are passing? 2 comma 1. This is the value of n here, and we are returning n plus 1. So it will become 2 plus 1. Now on the first index of res, we are storing 3. In the same way, now the pointer moves to 3. So we have here we have the value as 3 on second index. So it will become 3 comma 2, and the value returned is n plus 1, which means it will be 3 plus 1, which is 4. So on the second index of res, we have 4. Now we have the new result array as 2, 3 and 4. Now what we have to do, we just need to return this result. So outside this loop, what we will do, we will just return the result. So this is what we have to do in this question. Let's move on to the code, and whatever little doubts are there will be cleared with it. So let's see the code now. So what we were doing, first we will be declaring the array, and before that let's take the length of the initial array. So in n we will be storing the length of the initial array, arr dot length, and now we will be declaring a new array. Let's call it as result or res, and using constructor method we will be declaring a new array, and we will declare the size here also, and the size will be n. Okay, Now what we will do, we will be iterating on the elements of the initial array and we will be sending that value to the fn function. Now in this res we will be storing the transformed values, right? So here we will be sending each element with its index. Outside this loop, what we will do, we will just return the array. Let's try to run it now. The sample test cases are passed. Let's try to submit it now. So this code has been accepted. That's it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification so you will be notified every time I post a new video. Thank you for watching.